Ladies and gentlemen, hello. I would like to welcome my guest for this evening. He has travelled. Where would you travelled all the way from?
Wickford.
Wickford.
Yep.
So
miles and miles away.
A good hardcore 30 minutes or so.
Across the mountains.
Oh, thank you, Ed. Very kind of you, dear boy. So I am joined by the very hunky, very buff and butch, the Adonis of the local rock guitar scene, Mr. Pete Robinson. How are you doing?
Very well, mate. Very well. Thank you for having me.
That's all right.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all the better for seeing you, Pickle.
Likewise. It's a beautiful day.
Right. Might have to get you closer to the microphone so we can hear you.
Yeah. How's about that?
I think that's all right. Everyone, let us know if the levels are okay, if you can hear everybody talking and stuff. So, let's get a bit of information about yourself, Pete. Who are you? What are you? Where do you come from? Why are you?
Tell me about your journey.
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing worse than here listening to people's journeys.
Journey. Yeah. I don't really have a journey. My journey's very simple.
That's good.
I spent a long time in originals bands as a kid.
Okay.
Writing music. We released an EP with my band, did a bit of a tour off of the back of it. This was when I was probably 19.
What was the band?
We were called Dirty White Trash.
Nice. It's a good name.
Yeah, and it was very unapologetic glam rock, but with no chill. It was just go. Everything was
nice.
100 miles an hour. I think we wrote every song using something like Red Hot from Motley Crue as inspiration. It was just no chill.
Nothing wrong with that. Let's turn this off.
And
silent.
I think during that journey, I figured that I just wasn't that good at writing songs. It's just not a skill that I have. And I was much better at just playing guitar rather than writing songs. So I exited that world, did a couple of tribute bands for a while. So did a tribute band for Def Leppard. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
That was a lot of fun, actually. Def Leppard's one of my big favourite artists. And then Whitesnake as well, with a similar bunch. That was also a lot of fun.
Whitesnake's right up there for me on my top bands in the universe.
It's just the musicianship, no matter who they've had across the years, which has been phenomenal.
Yep.
Absolutely phenomenal. Doug Aldridge being one of my...
What a player.
Yes, that's where I actually ended up switching from Shreddy Ibanez's to Les Pauls, was when I got that gig. It was I got the Doug Aldridge role, and I played Ibanez guitars for a very long time, and I was like, I should probably get a Les Paul for this, so I sort of bit the bullet and invested in a Les Paul. Haven't looked back. I'm
quite
a convert.
Like when you enter, obviously we're both in covers bands and we've done various bits and bobs. Is it quite daunting when you get to go in a tribute band and say, right, you have the Doug Aldridge role? What happens to your bowels when you get those words?
Especially someone like Doug Aldridge, who's just got the most phenomenal technique. And as you know yourself, the difference between playing in a cover band and a tribute band, they're two different things, right? And
the level of criticism that you receive?
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's, people you play in a covers band, you can go out and do a great job and everybody appreciates it, right? If you're in a tribute band, if you make one wrong note, there's some super fan in the audience that knows exactly what you did and where you tripped up.
And is going to firebomb your house.
Yes, and the pressure is ridiculous. So there was a lot of time spent analysing YouTube videos and that kind of thing, trying to figure out how do I get this as accurate as physically possible. But it was a lot of fun. It was very good. And
I suppose with Whitesnake though, there's a kind of a bit of leniency, isn't there? Because if you listen to any of the live performances, each guitarist has brought their own part to it.
Def Leppard was a lot more
on the money.
And I was doing the Phil Collin role, and I always had quite a lot of sympathy for those doing the Steve Clark role, because that's the guys there's a couple of guys that I played with in the years that I was in the band that did that role, and it's very melodic, and his solos, you can't just go, I'll improvise that bit.
No.
Like, there's no improvising in a Steve Clark solo. You play that solo and you play it right.
Yeah. That's kind of one of the things. It's almost like if you're in a Queen tribute.
100%.
Yeah, you can't play Bohemian Rhapsody in your own way.
This is a jazz version.
This is how Brian would have wanted it played, or something like that.
If Brian could sweep pick, this is how he would play it. So that was a lot of fun. And I met some really incredible musicians during that journey as well. Like people.
You just said journey.
Didn't I?
Get out!
That's it. Night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Pete. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, get off on your journey, you bastard.
When I was in those bands, I met some amazing people, and a couple of guys in particular that really kind of helped shape me. You know, I think it's really important that as musicians, we're always critical and analytical of ourselves.
I think most of us generally are.
100%.
Yep.
And there were definitely some flaws that I had as a player that playing with a few particular guys really helped me hone in on and work out what was wrong and what needed to be fixed.
Oh, excellent.
So there was a lot of kind of learning from that by just meeting and playing with other really good players. So there was a lot. I got a lot out of that.
Definitely. And it's also you don't realise how much you siphon off these other people as well, even without consciously. Is it osmosis? Is that what you call
osmosis,
it? Yeah. Hello, Mr. Paul Coogan. How are you doing, dear boy? Lovely to have you with us. Right, so Def Leppard. On the subject of that, shall we steam into our first song?
Steam into it.
Yeah. All right.
That should have been an album cover, shouldn't it? Album title.
Steam into
it. Maybe a take on a Mr. Big album there somewhere.
It would be. Right, so I need Enemy. Always makes me wonder whatever made them settle on that for the voice for the band.
I tell you what, no one else does it though.
No, that's very true. Steve Harley tried with that. You got it, but didn't have the gravel to it.
Yeah, no one else has that much reverb on their drums either.
No, and that's an amazing thing as well for a band to lose an arm but still become an iconic sound. It's fantastic work. Okay. Right, Animaux, the Def Leppard.
Went French.
Yeah. Je suis le Def Leppard. Okay, right, I think that's everything set as it needs to be. Let's find out. We need reverb. Circus comes to town. that note is so...
Yes, it is. Yeah. And I feel like you've got to do that whole song with a pout.
Yeah. That's just my favourite line. If any band could just put in any cliche, I'm running with the wind. Are you now? Ride like the wind. Hello, Al. Oh, Al, haven't seen you for ages, mate. How are you, dear boy? Let's just mute that. The sustain on that guitar. You could go for a bite and I'd still be hearing that one. No, don't even touch it. Don't even look at it.
But you would if it were plugged in.
Yeah. Marvellous. Right, so.
Tune. How about that?
So we got our boy here has picked some songs that are fairly tough, I'd say, aren't they, on the guitar grand scheme of things? So yeah. I like the fact that you haven't bottled it and thought, oh no, we'll play it safe.
We'll play Pashy by the Shadows and call it a day.
Yeah.
I chose songs that I really like to play.
Good man.
Rather than that I am exceptionally good at playing.
I like your style.
I'm putting out there as a disclaimer.
Hey,
right?
That's the name of this stream. Believe me, the amount of songs I've done that I like, but I can't really sing. Loads.
Welcome to Artist Profiles with Pete Robinson, Disclaimer Edition.
I got last week. I had a good friend of mine, Ed Osborne, on, and I didn't have a very good voice, and we were doing some of these songs, and I just sounded like fucking shite. So I've deliberately not tried to eat chocolate today or drink too much fizzy.
Okay,
that's the plan. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know.
Where do you stand on tea? What's your tea preferences? Or are you more a coffee person?
I don't drink either. But the only kind of tea that I will indulge in if my throat's a bit is Manuka honey and ginger.
Good throat juice.
Yes, that's all really. I'm a sucker for a cherry Pepsi. That's as far as I go.
See, so you're not in the caffeinated beverage game at all.
No, what about you?
Controversial. See, I've got very strong views on tea. See myself as
right-wing views on tea.
Tea purist. I'm sure we'll get into it.
Okay, excellent. Right, so before we carry on, a very quick notice. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please follow me. If you have Twitch, follow me on Twitch. Just press the button. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And also, if you would like to be notified of when the streams come up, press that little bell icon, and that will let you know when I'm streaming. Also, if you're on Facebook, please click follow on Facebook. And that all helps grow the channel and make me feel less lonely and insignificant in life, which is what we all dream of, I think. And thank you to everyone I stole all of those little animations from. Eurogems. Never make anything myself.
Free. There's no such thing as free content, Mike.
No. Right. So, after you're doing the Def Leppard and Whitesnake tributes, where did you venture on from there?
I ventured into the noises.
Thank you, Paul.
I ventured into the pub circuit of Essex, which was immense fun. Never really done the pub circuit until in the last maybe 3 or 4 years. So I got involved with a couple of bands, some that I played for regularly, some that I depped with. And as you know yourself, it's one of those. It's quite hard to get a gig on the pub circuit here until you build up a bit of a rep as a dep.
I think it kind of depends. How would you say? I think either you have to go in stupidly cheap, or do the knight in shining armour card.
Yes,
that
24 hours notice.
Yeah,
set lists you've never really heard of.
Yeah.
I did a lot of that.
Or even as a band, if you just say to venues, look, if you get stuck, call me, so that when they've run out of all other options, they're like, we'll try these guys.
We'll try these guys, yeah. And then you have to be good.
Yeah.
But you don't get that call back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. One of my friends said, why don't you come and do the pub circuit thing? So I was sort of saying, nothing on the horizon right now, gig-wise, I need to get out there and play. And a good mate of mine, Gordon, said, get on the pub circuit. It was great fun. So I got involved. And it was really good. It's nice that you can put on a good show. You can, you work with good musicians, but it's also got like a casual feeling to it, that you're kind of out there having fun. You've not got to meet like a certain performance standard. You can just sit back and enjoy yourself. And, it was a lot of fun. It was great.
Did you find that, so did you do a lot of gigging when you're doing originals bands?
Originals bands, no. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to get gigs as an originals band. We probably did about, apart from a very small run that we did that lasted a few weeks, I think we probably did about one every 8 weeks or something like that. It wasn't busy. Because
I found the difference between originals bands, obviously the amount of work you have to put in writing your own material, having nobody show up and having to really build that fan base.
Pay to play. Remember those?
I remember those very well. But it's also the fact of that how you have to have an image and take it more seriously.
Yeah.
Because the joys, as you said, joys of doing a covers band, you've kind of got free reign. And especially with English audiences, I've noticed this from when you see foreign bands come over here, especially European bands, they seem to be able to have more comedy with the audience because we appreciate a sense of humour.
Without devaluing the seriousness of the band, right?
Yeah.
Like agreed. Yeah. We did some stupid stuff in originals bands. Like we legitimately, and I was 19, we were all kids, right? We legitimately thought we were Motley Crue at one point. We did stuff like rigging video cameras up to projectors and sort of having it on the audience. The girls did all that. Yeah. And meanwhile you're in a.
You were Steel Panther basically, weren't you?
Yeah, it's Steel Panther with an audience 1/100th of the size.
Yeah.
4 people out there, and one of them's the owner's dog, and there was a lot of that. But we had a lot of fun. We thought we were cool at the time, and that was that. Formative years, you could call it. Let's do that. But the pub circuit was great. Met a lot of really cool people. I kind of met you through that, sort of, just from
we've literally met one time. We just happened to turn up at the same gig. I'm like, hi, I'm playing with you. And you're like, oh, hello, mate.
Sure, I've got you on Facebook. You're the tall guy with the beard, right? You're the short guy with that one. Yeah, okay, right, sure.
Excellent. It's like we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
But it is a really good thing. And I know, especially if you do get the chance to dep around with people and stuff, you do make some really good friends. And it is just, there's some really, not only incredibly talented musicians in the Essex circuit.
Yeah, there are.
Like, disgusting. Gordon's one of them.
It's just animal.
Yeah.
Animal. Git.
yes, he is. But say like yourself, and I'm trying to think like Simon Pinto, who I've had in here before. There's lots of guys up from the Ipswich way who are like phenomenal players.
Yep. Simon Hartley as well. Don't know if you know him.
I've never met Simon. No.
Unbelievable right hand technique.
Oh yeah.
Got a guitar.
Oh, okay.
To watch my words there.
That's all right. Round by the bins at half time.
Sure.
No one's going to say anything. But no,
he's a great player.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's funny when you look, and we have, for those of you who don't know, there is an Essex Covers Band Facebook. And you can always tell who the really highly rated recommended players are. Because as soon as someone needs a dep, all the same names.
Dong.
Yeah, so you get a bass, Michael Ellison, Ziggy.
yes.
Then you get guitar, Gordon, Simon. Trouble is Simon's not on social media. You must have been pulled up on that.
Yeah,
a
couple of times. Yeah. I'm definitely not as established on the circuit as some of the other guys. But yeah, there are a lot of vocal depths. There's a lot of specific people that come up for vocal depths as well.
Yeah, Lauren. If it's female vocals, Lauren,
Susie,
Annie Humphrey,
Susie Brown comes up a lot.
Yep, Susie comes up a lot. Male vocal depths is a bit trickier. I don't often.
Yeah.
There seems to be less of those who immediately spring to mind, name-wise.
Yeah, no, you're right. But there are some great male vocalists on the scene. They don't do a lot of depths, though.
No. That's because they're sort of like...
I'm doing this gig.
Yeah, singers are robust. They'll just stick through it no matter what.
Yeah,
and drummers, Glenn Buck is one of the ones who's always doing the rounds.
Yeah.
We've used Glenn on many, many occasions.
Yeah. They're always fun, aren't they? The ones you get last minute.
Yeah.
That's
there's less pressure because you just get thrown in like, look, guys, I'm standing in, so if I fuck up, I'm still saving your ass.
So my first gig back after lockdown was in August this year, and it was a 24-hour notice, last minute dep. And I was so out of my depth because it was all music that I was totally unfamiliar with. So it was a lot of ska and reggae and funk. And that's not my wheelhouse at all. Like I play 80s rock, and the band were brilliant, like phenomenal band, really tight, really just played well together. They had a lot of fun on stage. You could tell they were enjoying themselves. And there's me just trying to like funk my way through. It's just like I walked away like I don't have no idea if I get a job or not. Like no, there's no idea.
It's all about the upstrokes. Just stick with that, and we're fine. Yeah, that'll do for everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. But it was good fun. But yeah, it was tough when it's not your wheelhouse.
Right, well, let's go back to your wheelhouse. Okay. Let's segue back to the place that you know and love. Okay. Should we go for some Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Until we get the courage to go for the real hard bastards.
Yeah. Oh, they're in there, aren't they?
They are. All right, so let's get the reverb back in. Boom. Hello.
I say, madam.
I say. I should know the words to this. I've sung it enough times and still never get them right. Are you ready, dear boy?
Born ready, mate.
Excellent.
Silence, waiting for the dead of night. Vengeance is burning, leaving to kill the light. Who knows that the beast is looking for? Listen and hope and you'll hear back at the moon. Back at the moon.
Ready for my bad Aussie impression?
They cursed and buried him along with shame. Although the time I saw had gone, I'm crazy in empty burning hell unholy one. But he returned to prove them wrong, so wrong. Oh yeah, baby.
Nice.
Holding in shadows, living in a lunar spell. He finds his heaven, spewing from the mouth of hell. Who knows that the beast is looking for? Listen and hope that you'll hear him back at the moon. Hey, yeah, back at the moon. Hey, yeah, back at the moon. Whoa, whoa, yeah, back at the
Nice. We're going to run out of frets.
24 fret guitar needed. Gibson want to make me a 24 fret Les Paul with a Floyd Rose on it.
Gibson,
Yeah.
sort it, will you?
Not that they have any idea who I am.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe.
So, favourite Aussie guitarist?
Oh,
Not as in Australian one.
Well, that's an obvious one, isn't it? No, I think Aussie. A huge fan of Jakey Lee because his phrasing is just beautiful. His phrasing. Like there's some parts in that solo that are just. I remember hearing them for the first time when I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and I was like, there's bits in there that are like, oh.
Yeah.
There's like this little bit where it sort of descends really in the middle of the solo, and it's like, oh, that's lovely. But then, Randy Rhoads was just unbelievable as well. For his time as well. There was no one doing a lot of what Randy was doing at that point.
So a lot of so much praise was kind of heaped on Eddie Van Halen. But then, I mean, was Randy sort of around the same time? Was it sort of...
it was a similar time, wasn't it? Late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah,
it
so
was
it's
emergence
around...
of Van Halen. Yeah, it was the same kind of time. Different skill sets as well, right? I mean, you hear so much classical in Randy's playing.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, I love Van Halen, but I'm not one of those die-hard Van Halen fans that knows all of his songs inside out. I really love what he does, but I'm just not one of those fans. But for me, Van Halen, obviously there was the tapping thing and, doing things that people weren't doing, but it was his rhythm. He's just got the most unbelievable sense of rhythm that a lot of players just didn't have.
Yeah.
So I think it was like horses for courses. Van Halen, I think Eddie made his mark with, his tapping and his rhythm and a lot of the aggression in his playing, and Randy just had these unbelievable melodies and arpeggios that were built up out of nowhere, and it's great.
Definitely. Hello, Lord Farquhar. I would doff my cap if I was having
Quite the name, Lord Farquhar.
Good
evening. I haven't got a cap.
No, I've just got a hat. I'll just pull it down like that.
It's more than I have.
There we go.
There you go.
Lovely to have you with us. Right. So, what would you say? By the way, what was the and if anyone's got any questions out there, by the way, remember this is please do interact, say hello, throw a question out if there's anything you particularly want to hear as well. We might throw in some wild cards just to
test Pete's repertoire.
Yeah, and mine. So where was how did you start playing guitar? What was that moment? Because for a lot of people, there's that kind of light bulb moment of, I just saw it. Is it? Okay.
There was a moment. It was
let it shine on us, dear boy.
So I grew up around guitars. My dad's a guitarist and a really good guitarist in his own right as well. He's very kind of bluesy. He plays amazing acoustic as well. But so I was always kind of exposed to that. But I sort of had an interest when I was a bit younger, maybe 8 or 9, but didn't really get very far with it. And then I went away to this like cheesy summer camp thing. I think my parents wanted to get a shot of me for a couple of weeks over the summer, to be honest. But I went away to the summer camp, and I was really started getting into my rock. Like I was probably 12 years old or 11, maybe probably 12. It was like my formative rock years, and I started off with Queen because it's kind of everybody rock. There's some great melody and all that, and that was my big band at that point was Queen, and there was, I think the final night was like karaoke.
Right.
And as a 12-year-old boy that had absolutely no idea of pitch, I decided it would be the right thing to do to go up and sing Queen in front of 500 horrible kids. And, I wouldn't say that I could sing now, but I'd say I've learned enough to do like backing vocals and stuff over the years. But it's only been probably since I started doing the Def Leppard stuff about 7 years ago, when I learned that I realised that I needed to learn to actually make something of my voice. So at that point I was dreadful, and I went and tried to do a Freddie song, and I absolutely butchered it. But at the end of it, turned out these horrible kids were also very naive, and I got a round of applause and everything. It was fantastic.
Oh, excellent.
And
well done.
at 12 years old, that never really experienced a room of 500 people clapping for you. It was like, I need this feeling again. This is incredible. So I kind of got home, put my bag down. Dad, I need you to teach me guitar right now. And it sort of went from there. And I just couldn't stop. It was one of those things. I think when I tried playing when I was 8 or 9, you got to have the interest, isn't it? You've got to, I think, to pick an instrument up and want to keep picking it up, you've got to have that seed. Yeah. And at 8 or 9, I didn't have that seed.
There's someone you want to. I know this from teaching young kids. Unless they've got that inspiration and that goal of I want to be like this person, or that real inspiration. Without that, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm just playing, but I don't really know what I want to do with it, kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. And the latest thing, according to people that teach, of which I'm not one, is that the kids are now wanting to grow up and be YouTube guitarists, which is now a thing.
Oh God.
Apparently. I mean, if it gets them playing, it gets them playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, it was all about performing.
Yeah.
And performing, like having fun, hearing, getting the audience feedback and stuff. That was what did it for me. And then obviously, Dad taught me that he started off with chords and notes and that kind of stuff. And then he got me doing the shadows. which was his way of sort of saying, this is how you learn to play lead, and not to butcher it, because you're playing completely clean with absolutely no backup.
Yeah.
So he taught me some very important lessons. Entirely possible it was completely strategic, but yeah, and then I just kind of went from there. And then obviously my taste developed, and I sort of started getting into the harder rocks, so like, you know, your Whitesnakes and your Thin Lizzies and Led Zepp and all of that, and went from there. So that was
Ashley Harper,
a friend of mine from Texas.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, Ashley.
Yeah, so that was that, and that's how I ended up sitting here, of all places.
Well, your career's peaked, lad.
That's an honour. It is an honour. Never have I done one of these before. I did a live stream myself in the start of the pandemic, and it was very stressful. I don't know how you do it every week. You're a better man than me.
It took a lot of, when I say a learning curve,
Right.
God, the amount of, I mean, this setup's pretty ridiculous for what you actually really need to do it. But it's a constant learning process, constantly tweaking and adding little things. But that's what I like about it. You can start off, same as I suppose as being a musician, you can start off right at the bottom, and then you just take in little bits and bobs. You get better, you learn, you try different avenues, and it's a whole world out there that you never have to stop learning with.
Yeah, 100%.
Which I love.
It's the same with guitar equipment, isn't it? I mean, any music equipment.
Mm.
You start off with something very simple, and then you accumulate, and then you get like gear acquisition syndrome. Before
I can't
you know
afford gear acquisition. I would love to be able to afford gear acquisition.
Well, yeah,
syndrome.
we've all had to put the reins on at some point or another, haven't we? It's like I really want that guitar, but I can't. I need something other than beans this month.
And I don't want to have to blow sailors again to pay the rent.
You got my number, damn. Maybe it's not just me that does this.
Hey, we've all had to go down the docks at some point. Okay. Right, should we get the really hard one out of the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we tried this, I think, right before we came
I
on.
mean, it is a killer. There's very few. There's, I think, 2 songs out of most of the songs that I've ever played live where guitarists kind of shit a little brick, a little pebble, just as they're approaching
just
it.
a little bit.
And one of them is the one we're about to do.
Yep.
And the other one is when they do Mr. Big, Daddy Brother Love a Little Boy, and they have to do that rundown after the
Yep.
that rundown, and you can see everyone be like, "Oh, fuck it."
Once upon a time, Paul Gilbert's one of my guitar idols, and to the point where I even played a Paul Gilbert signature model as my main guitar for probably 10 years.
Nice.
And I'd spent a long time trying to learn that. It's hard, and there's no way I could pull it off like on a dime. You know, you're standing a gig, you're playing in front of people, you've got one shot, haven't you?
Yeah.
And there's no way like I could do it.
But he does have like
shovels.
Yeah, and
Shovels.
also like 10-foot long fingers.
It's creepy.
It's like Slender Man or whatever it is.
What was that 9 you put in there, boy? That was not meant to be there.
Yeah. He's got a 7 guitar neck stretch that he could probably literally play, one of Vi's huge great things.
Yeah. He could do a bar chord with his little finger.
Yeah.
On a 7 string.
Okay, let's do this. I don't know this song overly well. I've got to learn it actually for some upcoming gigs, so this is good practice.
There you go. This is basically a rehearsal now.
Pretty much. Yeah. Okay, there's my lyrics.
Making no promises on this, by the way.
Hey, this is the great thing about doing this stream. It's a lot of the time we just go straight in, have a laugh, see what happens, because there's nothing worse than watching, I find, streams of people where everything is not real.
Yeah, and too perfect.
Yeah, they're too perfect, and half the time it's not real, or it's multiple takes that they're just showing.
Putting them all together, and they get the best of the best. Like if you were recording an album.
Yeah, this is reality right here. That's our excuse anyway, we're sticking to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hope Gordon isn't on the stream, because that would be... this is Stroff, a good friend of mine.
Yeah, but can you even play United States of Whatever by Liam Lynch?
Whatever.
Okay. Here we go, and let's see what happens.
Nobody won't keep prisoner. impatient little white boy. Can't please everybody. Everybody cannot please me. That's why I don't do what I want to. So why don't you do it to me? Hey, so if you don't like what you see here, you can always leave my country. You're all invited to the party. You know you didn't have to come. No rotten apples gonna spoil all my fun. Don't like what you see here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. We won't try to force feed you. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Don't lie. Yeah. That's not right there. You don't like force feed you. Get the. Ashley believes in you. I believe in you. And just to add pressure, I'm going to focus on the guitar. Oh yeah! You don't like what you see here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Won't try to force feed. You don't like what you see here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out now. Try to. Whoops.
Oh, good lord.
That was my iPad saying we've got low battery.
Low battery.
Where were we? Don't like what you see here. Try to force feed you. Get the. Good work, sir.
I mean, we got to go once out of what we did 3 times before we started.
Hey, don't knock it. You did well, my boy.
Yeah, there you go. We got there.
Yep.
We've got a charger for the iPad though. This is. Oh.
I just got to find out where I can plug it that's actually going to reach. We might be all right, I think, actually. Cause
Under the kit there.
possibly. How are we doing for time? We'll crack. Actually, so I reckon we've got enough. So one of the other ones we were going to do.
Live dangerously.
Yeah. We'll be fine, don't worry. So, excuse me. Fucking outrageously decent solo, dude. Yeah, you did a superb job on that. That is definitely going to be the... I have to do a highlight of each stream, so that's going in there. Well done.
Perfect.
Yeah, see? All the praise is flying in.
Thank you, chaps. Ed Noddy, Matt Ralph. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Right, should we do Deep Purple was one of the other ones to do.
Yeah.
So, actually, I think, you know what, because this song is quite long, I think I will plug the iPad in. Right. Apologies, everyone. This isn't what it looks like.
So why are you down there?
Yeah. Earn your keep, boy.
Who's your favourite Aussie guitarist? Have you got one?
I see. That's a good question. I think probably Zakk Wylde, just because he's got just such a unique... Well, they all had a unique style of playing. Mm. But I think Zakk, for me, just... is just so much to his playing.
Yeah.
Just so much style, so much charisma, and just pure raw guts
attitude
as well. Yeah.
He's got so much attitude when he's playing. Like
Yeah.
his vibrato is savage.
Oh yeah,
Take
it just
your head off.
fucking
Up
have
and
that.
down, up and down. And the way he picks is like I've never seen anybody do. I can't even do it. He's like the way he articulates his hand. It's like
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
He's a ridiculous player. Yeah, I think him. But I get all of them. I love all the different
they have all been
eras of Ozzy, and he's never had a shit guitarist.
You wouldn't, would you? If you
No,
were Ozzy?
you're Ozzy, so he's never gonna.
You wouldn't get Keith from down the road.
Yeah, we got old Bob. We just dug him out of a gutter
He's
and
really
thought,
good at playing blues in major.
okay, so this was a big purple one. This is kind of one of the big gutsy ones.
Oh yeah.
Let's remember, anyone, if you've got any questions for Mr. Pete here, now is the time to ask them. Or when we finish the song, rather than.
It's right in the middle.
Yeah, we'll just stop it.
Stop
So,
answer.
Pete, what's your thought on the Middle East? Right, okay. Okay, here we go.
Nobody take my car, gonna race it to the ground. Nobody gonna beat my car, it's gonna break the speed of sound. Ooh, it's a killing machine, it's got everything. I can drive it high, big bad tires and everything. I love it, I need it, I bleed it. Yeah, it's a wild hurricane. All right, hold tight. I'm on highway star. Nobody gonna take my girl. I'm gonna keep her till the end. Nobody gonna have my girl. She stays close on every bed. Ooh, she's a killing machine. She got everything. Like a moving man, body control and everything. I love her, I need her, I see her. Yeah, she turns me on. All right, hold tight. I'm a highway star. Oh, thank you, J-Rock, and thank you, John, Mr. Starky Boy.
thought we'd go for more atmosphere.
No, it's really good. Yeah, I feel like I'm halfway between a gig and a really intimate strip club.
Which is how I roll.
If you put a tenner
in your
in my
jockstrap.
waistband.
Thank you, Lord Farquhar. Thank you, J-Rock. He wishes he had a crew like us all. Who are you?
Playing professionally.
Do you know J-Rock? Do I know J-Rock? J-Rock, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What did you used to do? What's your link with music? And you know what we need?
Oh my god. And the fact that you've got it on a remote as well.
I know. I just love doing it really inappropriately.
Yeah.
Just fill the room full of smoke.
Surprise hotbox.
Kind of like what happened at our last gig. A little story, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who didn't see the Facebook post. I'll take the reverb off a second. We were... What was the band we would head first?
Head first, yeah.
Yeah, and the singer is a guy called Vic,
Yes.
and Vic has a smoke machine.
Yes, he does.
And it ended up basically setting off all the fire alarms in the place, and the room kind of looked like this.
Oh, yeah. It's angled right at me as well.
That's a really good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
What?
Get it down, you lad.
Yeah.
They'll put hairs on your chest.
This will make you a wheeze, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the point where they had to open all the doors up, smoke alarms going off,
We
band
had
had to stop playing.
for about kind of 10, 15 minutes.
It was a good 10, 15 minutes. Yeah.
It was fine.
like a second interval after the interval.
Ashley said, have you considered playing professionally?
No, there's too many very good players out there. It's a very competitive market.
But you have done something pretty cool of late, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, what a segue. I like that.
It's
very
good, isn't it? Thank you, Ashley.
Exceptional. Yeah, so I joined it's like a touring theatre rock show. And I'm kind of hesitant when I say that because you say the theatre bit and it sounds like you're going to go, oh, no, you didn't.
You know, some people might go,
Bullshit, Mr. Handman.
You've got this so worked out, haven't you? You spent a lot of time on this.
yes, sadly.
It's actually full flavour behaviour. So I kind of hesitate with the theatre bit, but it's true. We would be playing theatres, but it's like a rock show. It's if you think of like the classic rock show,
Yep.
which is a fantastic bunch of musicians, phenomenal. It's very similar to that, except that there's a very strong charity aspect. So
Yeah.
one of the big things that this production do is they raise money for Help for Heroes, and they've raised tens and tens and tens of thousands of pounds.
Oh, amazing.
So far, and obviously they will continue to do that. So it's all kind of for a good cause. And I met the guy that runs the company that runs the show on Facebook Marketplace of all places.
Interesting
Yeah,
place to hook up. Better than Craigslist, I suppose.
Yeah, or this gig/strip club.
Yes.
No, I was selling an old motorbike, and he was kind of interested in buying it. And we got chatting, and he saw my picture, had a guitar in it, and we got talking. And he said, look, I might need a Dep in the theatre show that I run at some point. Are you interested? Yeah, sure. So we kind of kept waiting around forever. And then finally, I think August this year, he said, hey, look, our guitarist can't make the show. Can you do it? So I went and learned the songs, which is interesting because it's my first time playing where everything's in your ears. So you've got like a click in your ears all the time.
Kind of like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot less on track.
Yeah, this is kind of cheap.
We have actual musicians that instead of tracks. But yeah, there's a lot in your ears going on in terms of you've got a lot of BVs in there and you've got clicks in there. And obviously because we've got so many different instruments, when the song starts, you start.
Yes, you do.
You don't miss the click. So I did a lot of learning for that. They gave me a lot of really good support material. They gave me all like guide tracks and stuff because they've changed a lot of the arrangements of the songs and this, that, and the other. So that was really useful. And I really enjoyed the show. It went really well. It's probably that's sort of one of the only last-minute Dep gigs I've done where there wasn't a substantial fuck-up. It was good.
These guys were on the ball.
Yeah, they're all really talented people, and the gig went really well.
I've seen some of the footage. It looks amazing.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And the guitarist that they had at the time, fantastic player called Ariana, and she's very involved with a lot of different artists, and she was getting session gigs at Reading and this. That,
Oh, wow!
and obviously, naturally for her,
yeah,
that's what she does for a living, and she got some fantastic opportunities come up. So, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, do you want to come in and you know sort of sit in that spot if Ari goes off and you know kind of follows bigger opportunities?" Yeah, sure, absolutely. And that's where I am now. So we've done probably 7 or 8 gigs with them now, 9 gigs maybe. I'd lose track.
How many more have you got to go, or are you?
I mean, I'm permanent as it goes.
Oh, excellent.
But I mean, I've got absolute visibility of gigs until the end of this year, and there's about another 20 between now and then.
Holy shit!
It's very busy.
Oh well, we're very glad that you managed to squeeze us in here
I'm
on the
not
little
at home
channel.
a lot.
No, I was going to say. Ed says, I'm driving and had to pull over. Done lots of gigs with Vic, and the smoke machine is his trademark.
So I know that Ed knows Vic very well, and Ed will know what I mean when he uses the smoke machine like a weapon. He literally points it at people.
Same as he uses his mic stand as a weapon as well.
As a weapon.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't get too close to Vic, or you'll have your teeth out.
Vic was the reason that I started going wireless in pub gigs.
A very smart move. Very smart.
He's alright. He's a good dude.
Yeah, it was a laugh. It was an experience,
Yes,
I have
it
to
was.
say.
Yes, it was.
Right, we are going to go for some Whitesnake. We're pulling out the
Of course
big.
we are.
This is going to be a cracking one. I love this tune.
This is when I find your backing track has got all kinds of fruity fills in it and throws my already questionable timing even further off timing.
You'll enjoy this one.
Okay.
It's a lot of these tracks kind of where you get them from aren't the greatest, but Simon is not only a phenomenal musician, but he can mix really well.
Yeah.
So these sound so much better than ones he's done.
Isn't it?
Oh god, yeah. Okay, let me get some lyrics. Would you say this is one of their best songs?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Right, mute. Haven't got vocals. Mute the guitar. Are you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Black cat of moms when it's burning with a fever. Straight out in house when it's lonely in the night. A woman go crazy with the thoughts of retribution. Man stops weeping when he's sick and tired of life. Such a sexy riff. I keep on dreaming dreams of tomorrow, and I'm wasting my time like the candles in the wind. Just taking my chances on the promise of the future. I'm full of sorrow, it's a lonely tapestry. The sun is shining, it's raining in my heart. Understands the heartache, no one feels the pain. No one sees your tears when you're crying in the rain. You're crying in the rain. Crying in the rain. I can never deny all the sweet things that I'm tasting. Though I've been mistreated, I keep coming back for more. Know where I'm going, there's no problem, that's solution. Can't seem to separate the good times from the bad. The sun is shining, it's raining. In my heart, one understands the heartache, no one feels the pain. Whoever sees your tears when you're crying in the rain. You're
went wrong. That is really well mixed.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Some
Drums are big.
very tasty feels in there.
Big drums.
How are you on time? Have you got a time limit?
Not particularly.
No? Shall we do some more? That's it, ladies and gents. We're going to throw it out there to you. So just to make things interesting.
12 bar in A.
12 bar in A. Play some Albatross.
So you go, oh, do you know Cliffs of Dover? No, he does not know Cliffs of Dover.
We've got a fair old few songs in here. So, what have we got here? That sort of more kind of 80s rock type stuff. We've got Jump. We've got...
Jump's a good one. I love Jump.
Do you want to do Jump?
Yeah, I'm good with Jump.
All right, let's do Jump.
I love Jump.
Excellent. I'm going to need another wee because my bladder is the size of a pea.
That's fine. I will sit here and sing to people and entertain
Yeah,
them.
because you know Jump, don't you?
I'm not singing it.
Oh, God, can
I've
you...
got that range.
You have.
I play it.
Have a go. If I get back in time for the lyrics...
Oh, good Lord. Don't do this to me, Michael.
You'll
no.
be fine. It'll be amazing. Trust me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
I heard you fucking sing Sweet Child of Mine, man, for God's sake.
Yeah, but that doesn't require any... You just got to belt it and hope for the best. This
You
is
sounded great.
finesse. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We'll see what comes out. Maybe I'll just mumble it.
It'll be beautiful. Trust me.
You can just wee quickly and then you can just come and...
I will wee as fast as humanly possible. That bush will
Don't
out
give
there
me-
will
don't
not
give
know
me
what
some
hit
kidney
it.
stone, though, will you?
Okay, let's take out the guitar and the vocals. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, sure.
was your comfort break?
Speedy. I have to say, yep, it was literally out.
Really? Was that, what part was that? Was that the weeing or the getting it out?
I wish it was.
This is taking a dark turn, it's those lights.
Oh no, it's always that way here. Oh. Are you a Kiss fan?
I've never listened to a lot of Kiss.
Ah, that's fair enough. Because we have Love Gun by Kiss in here.
Yeah, I'm sort of familiar with the rolling bit. That's about as far as it goes.
That's fair enough.
What else have we got? We got 80s. Oh, Rising Force. Good lord. Now we're it's brave.
Brave for both of us.
Yeah.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot.
Okay, this might not work very well for me.
This might not work very well for me. I only know about half the song, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Because I can't remember who sang on this. Was it Jeff Scott Soto or was it?
Was it the other guy?
It was Joe Lynn. Was it Joe Lynn Turner?
Maybe. Yeah, I think it was Joe Lynn Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Singers like that are just in a league of their own. That's why they always get hired.
Yes. I've got this about as far as the keyboard solo. So let's get there and see how we go.
Okay. Right. This is going to be very interesting for me. Occasionally I've done it okay. Many occasions I haven't.
Yeah. Likewise.
Yep. Cool. As long as we're all working from the same page. Wait for the keyboards. Good luck, sir. In doubt, this is where it'll really go wrong for me. Here we go.
said, let's do that, I assumed in my head that I knew the pre-chorus.
There was so many colon clenching moments in that. I'm just like, there it is.
Most of the guitars like that as well, to be fair.
What's life without a little risk?
Yeah, let me do something with a little bit less skill required.
Okay. Let's go for Through the Barricades by Spandau Ballet.
Tush, 12 bar in G, that's an option.
You could.
It's right up there though, isn't it? Like, vocally.
Tush?
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Tush is fine. Right. I'm happy with Tush.
Tush is an option.
Okay, do you want to go for that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I love a bit of ZZ Top, me.
Hello, Kit, by the way. Thank
Hey,
you
Kit.
to Yell. So we've done all the proper songs we're going to do, so this is just all full-on fuckery now.
You're going to have to scroll back to see.
Yeah. If you want to see anything good.
See us
go-
not
go
butchering
back.
Yingwi Malmsteen.
Okay, let's mute the guitar. Yes. Mute the vocals. Yes. Let's do it.
buy me coffee first.
Oh, bless. Have I got an animation that would suit that? Maybe.
Our survey said...
That might be the toughest rejection I've ever had.
But you sir.
Wiener.
You're wiener. Right. Should we do one more for the road?
Yeah, why not? Let's do one more for the road.
All right then. So just want to say thanks for tuning in, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, all of you out there. It's been a pleasure having you along. So massive thank you to Paul.
Pete.
I know.
Thank you for having me.
It's all right.
It's been great.
I always have to misname somebody at least once during the stream. Just
Okay. Well, you've not. To be fair, you've gone all this time and not done it yet.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
Yeah.
So.
It's because I also know. I think I know a Paul Robinson as well.
Well, that's confusing, isn't it? It gets worse. My dad's called Pete Robinson as well.
Oh, brilliant. Well,
Yeah,
I interviewed Simon Bradley.
Right.
The used to play the Guitarist magazine and everything, and trouble is I know somebody called Bradshaw, so of course I went Simon Bradshaw. Everybody, it's just one of my ticks,
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right. Well, I'll let you get away with Paul. Paul's fine.
Yeah,
I could be a Paul.
you could be a Paul. You'd make a great Paul. You'd be up there with the best of the Pauls.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Paul McCartney, fuck him. Paul Robinson.
Paul Robinson, the short guy.
Yeah.
Mate, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Pete. Right, so we are going to go. Let's have a look. What are we going to go for? Oh. Can my voice hit that? I've got Still of the Night in there.
Oh, we can give it a shot.
Or Rainbow in the Dark. Rainbow in the Dark, definitely not. What about? Let's have a quick look what we got. I don't know Hysteria properly, unfortunately. Yeah. Must have something. Come on. We can always pull out another Aussie one. We've got Crazy Train in there.
Yeah, we can pull out a Crazy Train.
Yeah. If not,
it's a
we.
fairly safe one.
Yeah. We've got Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's a butchering waiting to happen, isn't it? My vote is Aussie.
Okay. We'll go for Ozzy Osbourne then. Crazy. Crazy. Okay. Sharon. Okay, here we go. That's a low click. Hello, Leanne, as well. Mwah. You know what we need?
The answer is always more smoke. Always. Like more cowbell.
Crazy, that's how it goes. Millions of people read this road. Ooh, baby, it's not too late. crazy. Just can't up there. I'm living with something that just isn't bad. A mental world still screaming. Who wants to play? I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Marvellous stuff. Excellent work. Well done, sir.
Likewise.
All right, ladies and gents. I'm going to say thank you again so I get it right this time. Pete Robinson, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect. See? Seamless, flawless.
There you go. There you go. That's the money shot.
Yeah, you've got me used to calling you Paul now.
This is gonna
Things will
stick
never
now,
be
innit?
the same
You're gonna
again.
message me on Facebook, seeing my name Pete, and still write Paul.
Without a doubt.
So I'll call you Mitchell. How about that?
That's anything that begins with an M I'll listen to.
I'm Grant Mitchell.
All right. Here, Phil. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, sir. Really good giggle.
Thank you, man. It's been very good. Really enjoyable.
Excellent. And all I can say is...
More smoke.
Yep.
More smoke. You're going to leave here with... sound like an emphysemic.
all right, everybody. Take care.
Ta-ta.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you all soon.